Alright, welcome to another video. I want to point out something. What's funny is that those who truly believe that the act of baptism in the South, where the Pedro Baptists, where they think they have control over the Spirit, okay, which they don't. St. John 3:8, the wind blows where it wishes and you hear its sound, but you do not know where it comes from, where it goes, so that everyone is born of the Spirit. So this does not suggest that man has control over the Spirit. Alrighty? If that's true, that the act of baptism itself, we had that kind of control, Jesus would not have said this in John 3:8. Okay? But something I want to point out to you. And I grew up in a Catholic church where they'd be quote unquote baptizing the infant, and the infant would be crying. And then the congregation would be laughing, as if, how can it be crying when it's experiencing the Spirit? Exactly. Your laughter is a sign you do not understand what is actually going on. Okay? That baby is crying because it's experiencing the coldness of the water being poured over it, and it doesn't like it. I guarantee you, if that baby was actually experiencing the Spirit simultaneously, that baby would not be crying. That baby would be in awe what it's experiencing inside. That would overcome that coldness of the water being poured over its head. I guarantee you that baby would not be crying. I remember, now, I was told by my parents, I was baptized as an infant in the Catholic Church. I don't remember it. So how can I have made an appeal of good conscience towards God? 1 Peter 3, chapter 3, whatever, somewhere in there, towards the end of the chapter. How could I actually be biblically baptized if I don't even remember it? If it pertains to the conscience. See what I'm saying? But anyway, I did not experience regeneration until I was 21 years old. So if I experienced it as a baby, why am I experiencing it, just over 20 years later? And that's what caused me to investigate a bit further in the Scripture. When did the person actually get baptized? And it took me a while because it's difficult to remove presuppositions and really study and look up every single verse pertaining to the topic. And it took me a long time. Having conversations with people, pointing out this verse, in the Old Testament, I didn't know about that. And the clarity just grows over time. It purges out the presupposition. It takes a long time. And so then you have a conversation with somebody online with this great level of clarity, trying to get them to try to help them remove the presupposition is very difficult. So it's a challenge online. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make here, that baby would not be crying if it experienced regeneration. Okay, anybody who experiences it, you're not going to be crying. You're going to be in awe that interchange that takes place in you. And your sense of sanctity of life just boom, just explodes. You look at the world around you much differently. I experienced this when I was 21, and I look back on that. There's no way a baby would be crying if they experienced that. Again, the reason why the baby is crying because you're pouring cold water in his head, and that's a sign that it's not experiencing regeneration. You just made the baby wet. And the fact that people are laughing, they think it's experiencing regeneration, but they're laughing because, well, why is this baby crying if it's experiencing regeneration? Oh, it's the cold water. Ha 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 ha. Well, your laughter, again, is a sign you are not piecing this together. So, anyway, just some thoughts. And so why do I have strong feelings about this? Because I am hard of hearing. And even though I had a church I grew up in, they had the visible art, if you will, the gospel. I never personalized the gospel to me. I viewed it as some sort of corporate thing, some church corporate thing. And it was never personalized and never on an individual basis. It wasn't until I was 21 I heard the gospel from a friend of mine. And 3 weeks later, I was just sitting down in my room thinking of John chapter 6, verse 29. And all of a sudden, I experienced that interchange. So, the day of regeneration. So, I didn't have water poured over my head. It's like this verse said, the wind blows where it wishes. Did not say blows where a priest is baptizing or preacher baptizing. It's where it wishes. And you hear it sound, but you do not know where it comes from or where it goes. So did everyone who's born of the Spirit. The same way. We have no control over this. And the problem is man likes to think at some degree or another that they're God, that they have control like God does. It's part of our sinful nature. And so that's the attraction with paedo baptism. Those who believe that it regenerates, you don't realize it, but it's your fallen nature trying to have that control over the situation. And do we want that control? Of course we do. Of course we want to think that we have that kind of control. But John 3:8 suggests otherwise. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. Just some thoughts. Have a great day.